Naked comedians peeping into stand-up comedy biographies. How to become a comedian blogcast series, Aspiring Comedians Checklist. In this blogcast, I'll show you the unfiltered lives of some of influential stand-up greatest. In my previous blogcasts in the Aspiring Comedians Checklist, I've covered stand-up comedy videos to harden your funny bone. Read stand-up comedy blogs to fuel your dreams. Study the styles of comedians to unleash your inner comedian. Watch stand-up shows to ignite your comedy passion. Get your jokeaholic fix, Addict's Guide to Joke Books. Speak Like Comedians, Decoding Terms. Part 1. Speak Like Comedians, Decoding Terms. Part 2. 10 Reasons to be Killed by Top Stand-Up Assassins. Step by Step to Stand-Up Comedy, How to Become a Comedian. Comedy Gold, 7 Tips to Record Your Funniest Ideas. Tears and Triumphs in Comedians' Autobiographies. As you progress through your Aspiring Comedians Checklist, now into the stand-up comedy biographies not written by the comedians. Stand-up comedy biographies, a fictional account of a comedian's true story. This was a challenging blogcast because there are so many great stand-up comedy biographies that deserve to be studied and appreciated. So I chose the ones I thought had the most impact on stand-up comedy rather than their success in other mediums that followed. There were also some stand-up comedy biographies like Mom's Mabley, who didn't have an affordable book, and some who had no biography at all. So these are presented in no particular order to give you some of my top choices of those that may help you understand the lifestyle and business of being a stand-up comedian. Stand-up comedy biographies. Introduction. As you check some of these books off your Aspiring Comedian Checklist, you may find several comedians in these stand-up comedy biographies. You'll have no idea who they are. All the more reason to read about them. I left off many that are contemporary stand-up comedy biographies and still have much of their lives and careers to live. I thought I'd give them a few more years before considering them a life biography. Let's bio the bios. Robin Williams, When the Laughter Stops. Gather round, folks, for a journey into the life and legacy of one of comedy's brightest stars, Robin Williams, as depicted in Robin Williams, When the Laughter Stops, 1951 to 2014, by Emily Herbert. Picture this: a man whose eyes sparkled with mischief, whose energy seemed boundless, and whose wit could cut through the thickest of clouds. That was Robin Williams, the comedic force of nature who graced both the silver screen and the small screen with his unparalleled talent and infectious charm. Robin wasn't just another funny face. He had a knack for adult-oriented humor, effortlessly entertaining grown-ups with his quick wit and uncensored improvisation. But here's the twist. Behind the curtain of laughter lurked a man grappling with his own inner demons. Depression and addiction cast a shadow over Robin's life, culminating in a tragic end in August 2014 when the laughter ceased. Yet, amidst the darkness, Robin's legacy of compassion and generosity shines bright. From his advocacy for the homeless to his unwavering support for numerous charitable causes, Robin's spirit of love and laughter continues to inspire. Jean Carroll, First Lady of Laughs. Let's dive into the forgotten corners of stand-up comedy biographies, where one woman dared to defy the odds and make her mark in the world of stand-up. I'm talking about none other than Jean Carroll, the unsung hero of comedy whose story deserves to be shouted from the rooftops of every comedy club. In a time when stand-up comedy was a boys' club and women were hardly given a second glance, Jean Carroll wasn't about to let that stop her. Oh no, she grabbed the mic and made it her own, becoming the first Jewish female stand-up comedian in America. Now you might be asking, why haven't I heard of her before? Well, my friends, that's a crime of comedy history, one that we're here to rectify today. In First Lady of Laughs, Grace Kessler Overbecky peels back the layers of time to reveal Carroll's forgotten narrative. And let me tell you, it's a tale worth telling in stand-up comedy biographies. Through meticulous research and heartfelt storytelling, we journey alongside Carroll as she navigates the choppy waters of showbiz, breaking barriers and busting guts along the way. But Carroll's story isn't just about laughs. It's about resilience, determination, and the unshakable spirit of a woman who refused to be silenced. As we dive deeper into Carroll's life and career, we uncover the struggles and triumphs of women in entertainment, shining a light on the challenges they faced in a male-dominated industry. Carroll wasn't one to back down from a challenge. She paved the way for future generations of comedians to take the stage and share their stories, their voices, and their laughter. Black and Blue, the Red Fox story. Let's step into the remarkable stand-up comedy biography of Red Fox, chronicled in Black and Blue, the Red Fox story by Michael Seth Starr. If you're serious about carving your path in this business, let's delve into the essence of finding and owning your unique voice, just as Red did. Firstly, let's shine a spotlight on the Chitlin Circuit, a clandestine network of clubs where Black performers like Red could unleash their raw, unfiltered humor and connect intimately with audiences. These venues served as Red's training ground, where he honed his craft, delivering his gritty, unapologetic comedy to audiences craving authenticity. Red wasn't merely a crude comedian, he was a virtuoso of the one-liner, delivering his jokes with a distinctive gravelly rasp that could coax laughter from even the most stoic crowds. But beyond the surface, Red was a pioneer for racial equality, using his platform to dismantle barriers and confront prejudice head-on. And let's not overlook his groundbreaking influence in the realm of comedy albums. Red pioneered the concept of comedy records, earning him the moniker King of the Party Records. Through his albums, he blended edgy humor with social relevance, laying the groundwork for future comedians like Richard Pryor to follow. Ready to build your stand-up comedy routine? Level 1 is our live Zoom or in-person course that teaches you how to write and perform with confidence. Sign up today at gregdeancomedy.com. Brother Sam, the short, spectacular life of Sam Kinison. Time to enter the eccentric stand-up comedy biography of Sam Kinison, the man who transformed screaming into an art form. If you're seeking inspiration to break boundaries and ignite the stage with raw energy, look no further than this former Texas evangelist turned comedy sensation, as chronicled in Brother Sam, the short, spectacular life of Sam Kinison. Imagine Kinison, towering in his trench coat, his locks cascading from under a beret, poised to unleash his iconic banshee wail that reverberated through audiences like thunder. But understand this. Kinnison's screams weren't mere theatrics. They were a visceral expression of his inner turmoil, laid bare for all to witness. Kinnison fearlessly tackled controversial topics, delving into territory some might label as misogynistic. Yet beneath the surface, he fearlessly confronted his own demons and vulnerabilities on stage. He exposed his pain and heartache with a raw honesty that few comedians dared to emulate. And what about his views on love and marriage? Kinnison had tasted bitter disappointment in both realms and wasn't shy about sharing his insights. He'd jest about the shortcomings of men while acknowledging the scars left by failed relationships. His candor was both jarring and cathartic, drawing audiences into a whirlwind of emotion. Woody Allen, a biography. Prepare yourselves for an intriguing journey into the intricate life of Woody Allen, a journey chronicled in Woody Allen, a Biography by Eric Lax. Allen, born Alan Stewart Konigsberg, emerged from the streets of Brooklyn with an insatiable appetite for comedy, literature, and cinema. From his early days crafting jokes for newspapers and radio programs to his captivating performances in New York City's stand-up comedy clubs, Allen's comedic prowess was undeniable. However, Allen's true brilliance shone through in his transition to filmmaking. His movies, marked by their witty dialogue, existential themes, and unique blend of comedy and drama, catapulted him to the forefront of cinematic innovation. Despite the controversies surrounding his personal life, including his highly publicized personal life in the stand-up comedy Biography. Yet, as we delve into Allen's life and work, we confront uncomfortable truths about the complexities of artistry and morality. His films, once celebrated for their insight and wit, now carry a weight of moral ambiguity, challenging audiences to navigate the blurred lines between genius and depravity. Mort Sahl, Last Man Standing. Now let's shift gears to delve into the groundbreaking career of Mort Sahl. He reshaped the landscape of stand-up comedy with his sharp wit, incisive observations, and fearless approach to tackling social and political issues. On December 22, 1953, San Francisco's Hungry Eye Club. It was on this fateful night that Sahl took the stage and forever changed the trajectory of comedy. Before Sahl, comedy was largely devoid of hard-hitting news and politics. But in his wake emerged a new generation of smart, socially conscious comics who would reshape the genre. Clad in his trademark open collar and pullover sweater, Sahl adopted the persona of a graduate student dissecting current events with wit and insight. His approach was revolutionary, earning him nicknames like the nation's conscience and America's only working philosopher. Yet beneath the veneer of intellect lay a satirist with a savage edge, earning him comparisons to Will Rogers with fangs by the editors of Time. In Last Man Standing, Mort Sahl and the Birth of Modern Comedy, author James Curtis delves into the extraordinary details of Sahl's life, exploring the influences that shaped him and the tumultuous times in which he thrived. Through Curtis's expert storytelling, readers are invited to journey through the life and legacy of Mort Sahl, a true iconoclast and the father of modern stand-up comedy. Want personal help shaping your act? Book a private coaching session with me or Gayla. We'll help you tighten up your set. Visit gregdeancomedy.com to book now. Don Rickles, Merchant of Venom. Let's look at the life and legacy of the one and only Don Rickles. He redefined insult comedy and left an indelible mark on the world of entertainment, riding a wave of success that lasted more than 60 years. Rickles was best known as the insult comic who skewered presidents, royalty, celebrities, and fans alike. There was more to Mr. Warmth than a devilish ear-to-ear grin and lightning-fast put-downs. Rickles was a loving husband, an adoring father who suffered a devastating loss, and a loyal friend to the likes of Bob Newhart and Frank Sinatra. In Merchant of Venom, author Michael Starr delivers a comprehensive biography of Rickles, tracing his career from its humble beginnings to its late-in-life resurgence. From his iconic roles in the Toy Story franchise to his scene-stealing performance in Martin Scorsese's Casino, Rickles conquered every medium he worked in, leaving audiences in stitches with his razor-sharp wit and larger-than-life personality. But amidst the laughter and applause, Rickles remained the nicest man in town, a testament to his genuine warmth and generosity of spirit. With anecdotes from friends, family, and fellow comedians, Starr paints a poignant portrait of a man who brought joy and laughter to millions. Cosby, His Life and Times, hardcover. We must delve into the intricate stand-up comedy biography of Bill Cosby, a journey meticulously chronicled in Cosby, His Life and Times by Mark Whitaker. Hailing from a Philadelphia housing project, he navigated a challenging childhood marked by an absent father and a hardworking mother. Despite dropping out of high school, Cosby's trajectory shifted when he enlisted in the Navy, maneuvered into college, and ultimately found his footing as a stand-up comedian. His charm and relatable anecdotes propelled him into the spotlight, culminating in his pioneering role on I Spy and subsequent domination of television throughout the 1970s and 1980s. Whitaker's stand-up comedy biography delves into the behind-the-scenes narrative of this groundbreaking sitcom, Cosby's chart-topping albums, his pivotal role on I Spy, and his influential contributions to children's television. Yet it also delves into Cosby's professional setbacks and personal tumult, from a scandalous affair to the tragic loss of his son. However, behind the facade of Cosby's illustrious career lay a troubled personal life. Allegations of sexual assault further tarnished his reputation, culminating in a highly publicized trial and conviction in 2018. Cosby's downfall serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of unchecked power and the importance of accountability. As we reflect on his legacy, we must acknowledge both his contributions to entertainment and the pain he inflicted on his victims. Bob Newhart, crafting comedy, shaping generations. Let's turn our attention to the button-down mind of Bob Newhart, a comedic genius whose deadpan delivery and clever wit have endeared him to audiences for generations. In this captivating stand-up comedy biography, author Neil Potter explores the extraordinary career of the iconic comedian, from his groundbreaking comedy albums to his legendary roles in television sitcoms that shaped the very landscape of the genre. Delving into the intricate details of Newhart's career, Potter unveils the genius behind the deadpan delivery, clever wit, and enduring humor that have made him a cultural icon. From the early days of stand-up triumphs to the transformative impact on television comedy, each chapter unveils the layers of a man whose laughter has echoed through generations. Discover the untold stories, behind-the-scenes anecdotes, and the profound influence Bob Newhart has had on the world of entertainment. With meticulous research and a genuine passion for the subject, Neil Potter crafts a narrative that not only celebrates the man, but also pays homage to the art and craft of comedy. Freddie Prinze. The Freddie Prinze Story. Introducing the life and legacy of Freddie Prinze, a comedian best known for his role as Chico in the 1970s TV show Chico and the Man. Beyond his on-screen persona, Prince's life was marked by triumphs, struggles, and a tragic end that left a lasting impact on the comedy world. Prinze burst onto the scene as a stand-up comedian, captivating audiences with his natural charisma, infectious energy, and sharp wit. His role as Chico Rodriguez, a streetwise Chicano in the sitcom Chico and the Man, made him an overnight sensation and paved the way for greater visibility for Hispanic performers in Hollywood. Behind the scenes, Prinze grappled with personal demons, including substance abuse and the pressures of fame. Despite his outward success, he struggled with feelings of inadequacy and a sense of isolation, ultimately leading to his tragic death by suicide at the young age of 22. Prince's story serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of addressing mental health issues within the entertainment industry. Next up. In my next blogcast, How to Become a Comedian blogcast series, Aspiring Comedians Checklist. About comedy and comedians, I'll suggest the books I think really represent the history and the real-world stand-up comedians inhabit. Laughter is contagious. Pass it on!